And you get a stab. And you get a stab. You get a stab. And you get a stab. Good. Back to the hive. We've been busy around the colony and have thrown up a few more walls, which has made this place even more confusing to navigate. But walls are such a necessary evil to the colony, and in order to grow and expand, we are just going to need to live with the confusion. Well, I will at least. We have Onyx and Emery working on 2 new upgrades to 2 new buildings within the industry sector here. So we have the mechanic and we have the Glassblower's hut now up, and I think they are doing level 2 upgrades to them at the moment. Yes, they are. And of course, because they are doing so, they are going to request in some items that those buildings make. So we need to quickly go around and teach some recipes here. One of the items that we need to teach are for light grey stained glass, but unfortunately we cannot teach that to the Glassblower's hut. We need to teach that to a Dyer's hut. Although we do have an alternative recipe here for the Glassblower, who can turn light grey concrete powder into light grey stained glass. But it's the same problem then, who is going to make our light grey concrete powder up? Ideally, it would be the concrete mixer, but we will need the pave the road research in order to unlock the concrete mixer. And in order to get that research, we are going to require a level 3 university. Or in other words, I will need to make up the light grey stained glass at the moment. I would like to start the process of us getting to the Dyer's hut, which will require the Rainbow Heaven research. This will require a level 3 flower shop alongside a level 3 university, with the flower shop being unlocked with the flower power research, requiring a Composters Hut totaling at least 3 levels. We do have the biodegradable research unlocked for the composter, and in fact, I think somewhere down here I have placed the composter down. No, I haven't yet, because I haven't actually made up the hut block, which will require a compost barrel to make. That's easy enough. And from there, there's the composter's hut, which is a single level, single cell building. So I will just set it down here, just down the road from our farm under fields. And eventually, one of our idiots will come out to construct that for us, which we will hopefully get up to the level 3 mark. Then we can go and start unlocking some of those researches. Although I cannot teach the Glassblower the different coloured items at the moment, what I can do instead is come in to teach it how to make glass in the first place. So that comes under the smelting recipes tab, and I'm just simply going to bring over some sand to do that. And as a fuel, let's give you some coal for use. So at least the Glassblower will be useful and make me up the glass so then I can stain it for her. And in fact, just to test that, let's request in a whole stack of glass. In fact, yes, make me a stack of glass. Well, we have plenty of glass within the warehouse, it seems, so she can now make us glass, but we've got plenty of the stuff, so happy days, I suppose. We have Onyx working on the mechanic's hut at the moment, which I believe is either going up to level 1 or level 2. Well, looking at the outer shell of the building here, this is clearly only a level 1 building. In fact, it's technically level 0, so we can't even hire any worker to the build. Although I should be able to teach recipes here, such as how to make these oak pressure plates. But without a worker assigned to the building, then that is something that I will still need to make for them. But with that, alongside a piston, that should be everything for the level 1 mechanic's hut. The last important item on the open request list at the moment are for 2 warped slabs. This is for Cody's building that he's working on at the moment, which we will go and look at in a second. Let's quickly teach the recipe here to the sawmill. and he is working on the level 3 upgrade to the university, which is going to require a crazy amount of items. So basically, we are just going to wait on Cody requesting in those items before we either go teach them or collect them ourselves. And of course, because I now have fulfilled everything there on the request list, we have even more on the list, which again would be taught to the mechanic and Dyer's hut, but we technically don't have either of them at the moment. Now we do, however, so those are going into storage and eventually making their way over to our idiots. But of course, because I never get any peace around here, now Cody is requesting in a stupid amount of items. The dark oak trapdoor should be taught here to the sawmill, alongside the birch stairs of course. The cut sandstone items, those are a mixture between the stonemason and stone smeltery build. So it was a cut sandstone slab we need, which that's simple enough, but we will also need to teach them how to make cut sandstone in the first place, and then how to actually make sandstone. I think it was smooth sandstone stairs as well, so that's also taught here. But now we need to find out where the stone smeltery is to teach it the smooth sandstone in the first place, which is the building here, and they're already possibly making us something. I doubt it, that may just be a graphical thing there. Yes, that is definitely just a graphical thing, I've not even told it what type of a fuel to use. But if I drag over some sandstone to it, that is the smooth sandstone for this build. And whilst I'm here, let's also do the same for some cobblestone to stone and stone to smooth stone. So that's once again everything off of the list. Onyx is now 100% supplied for the upgrade here, and in fact we are pretty much nearly done with it. Well, that was the glassblower just beneath us being finished there actually. And there's the mechanic hut itself done as well. Excellent. I don't know if we have any spare idiot who could become a worker. Sadly not. We have upgraded a few houses. Let me go check on the population cap at the moment. We have 24 of 24 citizens unfortunately, and everyone is employed. Although a few of them have become knights and guards around the colony, which we really don't need at the moment. So I will come around and we will just set this to manual, and I'll fire Margot then from this. She will go pick up something else instead, hopefully the mechanic. Nope, clearly not. Well, eventually we got a worker into here, so welcome in Kenzo, our new mechanic. Let's actually start the upgrade process to level 2 for these huts, seeing as Emery isn't doing anything important at the moment, and this will make our workers just a little bit better at their jobs, and also give them some more recipe slots. Onyx has moved on to the Composters Hut and is already over 90% supplied for it. There are just a few items on the open request list though that we will need to go teach to the colony. The composted barrel, even though it has an iron ingot within it, is a recipe taught to our sawmill. And just before I do leave this building here, there's Cody now requesting in a lot of other items, including some wooden ones. Right, Asuna, let's teach you some more recipes then. We have sandstone stairs and quartz slabs on the list here as well, which are both to the stonemason's hut, which is unfortunately now out of recipe slots here. So we need to upgrade this building then to level 3. Let's get Emery moving on to that next. And I am tempted to hold off from making those blocks up here at the moment until we do upgrade it, just so I don't need to come back and reteach them. Although as for the quartz slab, we will need some blocks of quartz, which means we will need to go to the mechanic to teach them how to make blocks of quartz. So at least we can chip away at some of these recipes here, just until we do get some more recipe slots within them. And whilst we are here, I did see that we have some requests for lanterns, which is also to the mechanic, although we will need to go to the blacksmith to teach them how to turn iron ingots into those nuggets. And the final recipe to the mechanic at the moment is for a note block, which is relatively simple. So we now need to find someone who will make melons, which is the farmer, some composted dirt, which is the farmer, and some coarse dirt, which is, well, you guessed it, the farmer. Although for the composted dirt block, we are going to require some actual compost, which would normally be made by the composter, but seeing as we need that for the Composters Hut itself, guess who needs to go make that? We do have plenty of carrots within our storage, so let's get down to 2 compost barrels and then fill them up with the carrots, and eventually we'll make the compost from them. But the final item Onyx is going to require for the Composters Hut is some soul sand, so yep, let's quickly grab some of that and get the hell out of here. The things I do for these idiots. I don't know if we have any melons or at least melon seeds within the warehouse, but we will soon see. Okay, yes, we do have some seeds. I don't know what level the farmer is currently at. I believe it is at level 2, which means it can only look after 2 fields at the moment. No, excellent, it is at level 3, which means it can look after 3 fields here. Right, hopefully I do have a 3rd field already constructed, which we do, and even better, there is nothing growing in it yet. So now we're going to start slowly growing melons. Perfect. That's Emery just finishing up with the mechanic's hut, so this is now at level 2. And she should move on to start upgrading the stonemason to level 3 next, which indeed she has, and there's a lot of brick items towards it, which isn't great because we don't have the recipe slots for that. And already she is requesting in some of those brick items. Great. I see that Cody is requesting in the smooth sandstone at the moment, but in order to get to that, he's going to require some sand, which will require some gravel that the crusher will make, so long as they have 164 cobblestone. I guess we have 0 cobblestone within the colony at the moment. Close enough to it, we have 54 of it, but a lot of cobbled deep slate, which means that the miner is mining too far down in his mine at the moment to get us out enough cobblestone for that. If we had a level 3 university, I could go for the gilded hammer research, which would allow our crusher to reduce our recipe cost by half. This would also require a level 3 crusher, which we would need to upgrade there. But I could also go for knowledge of the depth, which would allow our crushers to start using deep slate as a way to crush things. That too would require the crusher being at level 3, so that sounds like an awful lot of work just to start crushing down some deep slate. So what we will do instead is get our miner Roger to maybe just start mining a little bit higher up, which I doubt he is going to do because the miners are forever finicky and he would rather spend all of his time just mining up deep slate instead. You know, I just don't have the time nor patience to wait on all of that happening, so let's cut out the middleman and I'll grab some sand for that smooth sandstone. So let's get this into storage then, and hopefully that will take that request off the list, which it has done, although we do have the creamstone bricks still to make, which will be taught to the stonemason. And the recipe for it is relatively simple, which unfortunately I will need to make up here just because we don't have the recipe slots. But in better news, that is the compost now made for us, so I will give it to our farmer, who will eventually turn it into the composted dirt, just so then we can complete Onyx's request for composted dirt to complete the Composters Hut, which brings us one step closer to getting our Dyers hut.